This training is designed to assist public school employees understand the LCTS codes for completing random moments. The objectives for this training are: first, help school staff have a better understanding of the LCTS activities code that apply to public school employees, what they mean, and how to choose the correct code. Second, we'll show you where to find reliable resources and reference materials so you can look up additional details or guidance whenever you need it. As mentioned in previous training, you will periodically receive random moments by email that look similar to this. When you do, you'll choose from the list of activity codes. This training is to help you to understand what the codes mean and where to find resources that are specific to your role to help you choose the right code. Before we walk through each of these codes, it's important to keep in mind that codes A through F are specifically for the work connected to children who are in foster care or at imminent risk of entering foster care. This can include things like assessing risk, providing case management, completing related administrative tasks, or even attending trainings focused on supporting youth at risk. Let's break down codes A through F for a better understanding. Codes A through C all connect to children who are either in foster care or at imminent risk of entering it. Code A covers activities related to assessing or reporting possible child maltreatment. Use this code when you're actively involved in determining whether a situation meets criteria for mandated reporting or requires a foster care candidacy referral. Examples include consulting with colleagues about a disclosure, discussing whether the situation meets the threshold for reporting, or completing documentation related to the decision. It's important to note this is a short-term activity. It only applies to the point that the report is made or the decision is finalized not to make a report. After that, ongoing case management or service coordination would fall under a different code depending on the activity type. Code B is used for service coordination, not direct service delivery. This code covers coordination work, such as when you're helping align services or supports for a student who is in foster care or a foster care candidate. Code B is separated into 3 categories. Code B1 are for services for students who are already in foster care. Code B2 are the services to support the student and family to stabilize and prevent an out-of-home placement. Code B3 relate to service coordination to foster care prevention. For all Code B activities, include your time spent on communication, documentation, and travel. The key distinction is that you are coordinating services, not delivering them. If a student's status changes, for example, from being at home to entering foster care or the other way around, the coding should be adjusted accordingly. Code B1 is used for service coordination when a child is in foster care. This includes connecting the student and their foster family to services, making referrals, participating in meetings or care conferences, and communicating with anyone involved to support and monitor these services. It can also include truancy-related coordination, suspected maltreatment follow-up, and any related paperwork or travel. Code B2 focuses on prevention, coordinating services to help a child remain safely at home and avoid foster care placement. This includes working with the county staff, school personnel, community providers to identify needs, connect families to supports, and stabilize the home environment through meetings, calls, and care planning. Code B3 is used when working with a child who's considered a prevention candidate, meaning the child is not in foster care, but there are concerns that place them at imminent risk. Activities under this code focus on coordinating services and preventing foster care placement. Code C has 2 parts. The first part of this code is other child welfare related activities. These activities are not related to a specific student. An example could be participating in discussions or planning meetings concerning the general topics of students and the factors that put them at risk of being removed from their homes. The second part of this code is court-related activities for a specific student who is currently in foster care. Examples of this would be working with the school liaison officer in preparation for court, assisting with any activities to support petitions for the county related to foster care placement, preparing for or participating in any court hearing or administrative review, including presenting testimony related to foster care placement. Codes D through F all remain specific to foster care related work. Code D is used for training related to child welfare topics. This includes professional development, presentation, or workshops focused on early identification of children in need, foster care candidacy, or family preservation efforts. The key distinction is this is training time, not direct service time. Whether you are attending, leading, or coordinating these services, it falls under Code D. Be sure to include any associated paperwork and travel time. Code E applies when you are training foster care parents or adoptive parents. The focus here is on education and skill building for individuals caring for children in placement. Code F is used when you are providing treatment or therapeutic counseling. This includes one-on-one sessions, family sessions, or group therapy. Both codes E and F emphasizes direct support aimed at improving child well-being and strengthening family stability. For all of these codes, remember to include time spent preparing materials, completing documentation, and traveling for these activities. Codes G through I all relate to medical assistance in some manner. Code G is focused on helping families learn about medical assistance or determining eligibility. Code H is about coordinating or referring for MA-covered health services. For example, connecting a student to day treatment. Code I is used when you're directly providing a service that could be billed to MA. You don't have to actually bill for the service, but it would be the type of service that could be billed. Think of Code I as the direct care category within LCTS. Codes J and K are the most commonly used within the school setting. Code J covers your day-to-day educational and student-related responsibilities. This includes IEP-related work, such as planning, writing, and attending meetings, as well as communicating with staff or parents and making recommendations. It also includes classroom-related tasks like lesson or prep, correcting papers, scheduling, providing first aid, or supporting student services. A good rule of thumb, if the work is tied to instruction or direct student support, it likely falls under Code J. Code K is used for administrative or non-student specific activities. This includes attending staff meetings or trainings, reviewing district policies, and providing general supervision, such as overseeing student teachers or volunteers. Code K is the correct code when you're not actively working with students. For example, lunch break, a leave of absence, vacation, jury duty, or snow days. As a reminder, if you'll be on a leave of absence or vacation, coordinate with your site contact to identify who will respond to your random moments during your time off. Remember to set up an out-of-office rule to forward the state email to the person who will be completing the random moments in your absence. Important to note, Code K is always the correct and the only correct code to use during these types of absences. For staff who have completed random moments over the past years, you will notice there are two new codes, B3, which we've already gone over, and Code P. Code P applies when staff are either attending or providing training that falls under the definition of child welfare, particularly focused on prevention and early intervention. The main goal of these trainings is to help staff and partners recognize early warning signs and how to support students and families so they can connect them with services before a crisis occurs. Examples might include attending a training on identifying child maltreatment, learning about child prevention candidacy, or helping staff understand how to refer families for support. This code also covers time spent preparing for, presenting, or traveling to these trainings. In short, Code P is all about building the capacity of staff to better support students and families through prevention-focused education and awareness. The purpose of today's training isn't to memorize every single code or situation. That would be overwhelming and unnecessary. Instead, this training is designed to help you understand the overall structure of the codes and how they relate to your work. The following slides contain a view of resources that will be helpful in choosing a code that best fit the activities you were doing at the time of the random moment. All of the resources can be found on the Freeborn County Family Services and Children's Mental Health Collaborative website. The LCTS Activities Code Chart for public schools gives you a quick snapshot of all the codes A through K. I recommend printing it or bookmarking it for quick reference. Public schools are also provided with an extra tool, an activity flowchart. This resource is most likely the easiest guide to use. It visually groups different activities into categories at the top with quick scenarios of when to use the codes under each category. You can follow the arrows or steps on the chart to figure out which activity code best fits the work you were doing at the time of the random moment. Please note that the new codes B3 and P are not listed on either of these charts. The LCTS School Activity Code Reference Guide goes a little bit deeper with examples to help you decide which code best fits your activity. The new codes, code B3 and P, are both listed in this guide. In case you should need to talk with your site contact or the LCTS coordinator, you will find this list on the Collaborative's website. It will list the contacts for the site contact, the coordinator, and the validator. Please note that on this slide they are shaded out as these positions will change over time. Just a quick review about Random Moments. LCTS Random Moments is a federal program and participation is required. Random Moments document the work that you are already doing. This documentation generates funds back to Freeborn County to support programs and services for children with complex needs and those who are at risk. There are two main questions. What were you doing and who were you with? When you receive the Random Moment email, you must respond within 3 business days. It takes only a minute or less to complete. By now you should have completed watching both videos, the Local Collaborative Time Study Overview, and this video, Assigning LCTS Codes for Public School Employees. Next, complete the LCTS Participant Checklist and email the checklist to the LCTS coordinator on the day you complete it watching both the videos. This form is required by the federal government. It authenticates your eligibility and it documents your completion of the mandatory training. If you have questions regarding your qualifications to participate in LCTS Random Moments, talk with your site coordinator. A few days after sending your participant checklist to the LCTS coordinator, you will receive an email from this DHS email address asking you to verify your email. It is important that you complete this step, and be sure to add this email address to your approved email list. Thank you again for going through the LCTS Random Moments training. Following this slide is a very quick overview of the codes that may be a good starting point for determining the correct code. Please return to the Freeborn County Family Services Children's Mental Health Collaborative's website to complete the participant checklist and to access the supporting materials.